Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to a scuffed reaction. So basically what happened was Windows decided to ninja an update overnight, and even though I have those turned off, it decided to mess up all of my audio without me ever noticing. So I recorded 3 videos that now have no audio at all. So with the permission of the people who requested these songs, I'm just going to be doing a voiceover, giving you my rough thoughts of the reactions in real time, because I have the video, so you'll see that part of it with my voice, and we'll just make this work. I'll give you my afterthoughts afterwards, because I have to re-record those anyway. So I guess without further ado, let's go! Alright, so starting out with this, did not anticipate visuals with this video, didn't anticipate the genre either, and I was given context of these by Lutro, the one of the executive producers who requested this, but I was like jumping on this right away. I also listened to these backwards, which I talked about in the original video. This is technically the second song of the two, but I know that now, I just didn't at the time. I was loving this song. Like, immediately, it was hitting so hard. It's actually kind of a bummer that I'm not getting to hear it again while I record this segment. It's kind of weird seeing myself react to things I can't hear right now. But I remember the moments. It was just like, oh, the accents. Like, that's what I was kind of moving to, those accents. It's just so, it was such an interesting tone. And it was a sound I just didn't expect, even though I knew what genre it was going in. Obviously, I'm trying to not speak too much. Kind of keeping a rough pace with how much I talk during the original here. Just so you can see the raw vibes of me just vibing around, you know? Just bopping my head. Yeah, I was mentioning here the guitars and how panned they were. I loved how panned these guitars were, and allowing that like sonic space in both ears, keeping it heavier on the left for that one part there. The entire song was pretty broad, but I really appreciated the mixing and balance of everything here. The drums were doing the same thing. It was really cool. I'm making myself laugh just watching my own self just kind of move my head. Yeah, their transition games here, like everything that they were doing musically was so on point. I was loving this. I didn't expect anything like I mentioned earlier, but I was falling in love immediately with this group. I just thought it was so beautiful and so incredibly skillful what they were doing. Yeah, right there, I was like, it's got so much movement, it's full of life, because it was, like, the sound of this song was so, it was so kinetic. Everything was just kind of shifting around in the perfect balance of all the instruments, the voice. It was so cool. I haven't really listened to too much of stuff in this scene and in this genre, but this song really got me interested. I'm just glazing it at this point. I was like, that's amazing. I actually decided just to jump to the second song. And again, I am aware now that this is technically the first one, and the other one I just listened to was the second in line. But I wanted to hear both of them back to back so I could get the full context in my head. And this one was so much heavier. But I don't find that out for a few seconds, I think. At least to the degree it was. There, I'm starting to put it together. Yeah, there it is. There's my realization face. I was loving this diverse sound. You can tell by the stank face of Generations there. I think I was comparing it there to a little bit of Hailstorm, a little bit of Ginger mixed in there. I was living for this like heavier sound coming off the other song and getting to hear that really like distinct split in the genre there. Lots of ooh, ooh, oh. You don't really realize it until you watch your own videos back that you look like an idiot when you're recording things like this. Holy. Reading some of the words off that I was saying there. I was like drumming on my lap and like air guitaring a little bit to this. I was so in love with this sound. I loved the first song too, but this one, it solidified the band for me. I was just having a great time hearing this. Yeah, that was the end of it. Okay, that's where I was. Now I'll cut away and actually do my post talks as I do. So kind of like what I was pointing out there, and this is unfortunate that I don't have that immediate high after listening to it to kind of ride that energy, but I loved this band. I dove into it. I didn't realize that it was Casey Lee Williams. I had no clue, and I was talking a lot about how much I adored the reality that she is clearly still here, and in hindsight, I can hear it, but in that moment, I didn't at all. And it was such an interesting moment for me because I always hear her voice in things. It's very rare I don't recognize her voice. I've heard her since basically like volume 2 of Ruby. And that was around the time that I first heard her. And that was ever since I've been hearing her. I was like, every time, that's Casey. And this one I didn't. And I'm pretty sure it was just the specific like the mixing of the vocals and the layering and filters they had on it that gave it like its own unique identity, and that this entire band had its own unique identity that wasn't just Casey trying to ride the hype train of Ruby or anything else that she's done. She made this band. I don't know if she made the band, but she's a part of this band, and it is clearly this group that is this band. You know, like everyone's individual sound and approach to music is very clear here. Everybody plays so well together. The dynamics of everybody are super diverse, but also extremely on point. Like just the sound couldn't come from another group, right? This is this specific band's sound. And I think I mentioned when I was recording this how some bands you can just kind of tell that it's like the singer or the guitarist writing the music and the rest of the band is just kind of along for the ride, and that never felt like it was the case with either of these songs. You have such a clear distinction between everyone's parts and that they're all working so beautifully together that you can really feel that like severe, I mean, almost painful individuality. I mean, like in the best way. It's so neat to hear that, because it's not something you get to hear all the time. If it's like a singular person working on a song, even if they bring other people in, like session artists, it never gets that feeling of a collaborative experience like this song and these songs did. And I was so excited to hear more. I actually went to their YouTube channel between recording the reactions and doing my post talk last time to check their website for merch, because I was like, I want a t-shirt. Unfortunately, they don't really have any of my size right now. They're kind of sold out on those for any of the designs I was interested in. But the fact that I even wanted to do that is such high praise to me. I never look that stuff up immediately. I wait till I'm much deeper into a rabbit hole before I go to that. But here we are having 2 songs deep, and I was already interested after 1, and now 2 songs, I'm like, when can I go see them? I was looking up tour dates if they were anywhere near me. Nowhere close enough, unfortunately, but if they ever make it closer to my way, I would legitimately do a small road trip to be able to see this band live, just because of that technical prowess. I was loving and living for that the very moment I heard it. And it's really unfortunate that you guys didn't get to hear all of my like initial oohs and ahs, but hopefully seeing them and just me kind of yapping over it was enough. I am still bummed that the audio issue happened, but you just have to make things work with whatever happens, you know? So here we are with this experience and me absolutely loving this group to a point that I did actually go listen to a few more songs. And to Lutra, the one who requested this, don't bother requesting any more from this group, because at this point I've heard almost all of this album as of me recording this now. I listened to it yesterday and I was so excited to hear more, and I was like, yes, let's go. But you know, with the audio, unfortunately I couldn't like get that initial reaction out of this video. But again, loved this group. I loved what they stand for and all the sound they were going for. Everything was so beautifully balanced. Like I was mentioning in the actual reaction section, the spread of everything, just the sonic space being so wide and utilizing all that for the drums, panning everything just so perfectly well. Even the vocals being kind of wide, but also the filters kind of pulling it more towards like the mono center sound. I was like, ooh, you know, I was just really into the sound. And I know I'm going to like more of their stuff. I just have to listen to more than just this album. I haven't heard the whole album of Fox and the Bird yet, but I listened to like 3 other songs from it. So I'm expecting to love more and more. I just need the time to actually sit down and listen to them all in one sitting, because I know that this story is all in one line. So it's a chronological album. You got to listen to it all at once. And I love that that's a thing that some bands do. And it's a bummer not enough bands do that. Not enough groups, not enough projects look at an album and a release as such. Like, you can tell a whole story throughout that. A lot of people just do individual songs, and that's fine too. But it's always really cool when you see an artist or a group doing something like this, where they take that time and that, I guess you could call it a vehicle for a story, and give it that time it needs to be able to be unlocked chapter by chapter. It's like a book in music form, and I've always appreciated that. But like I said, I've listened to a few of them since then. I love this band. I'm going to be listening to them more often, I'm sure. But I think that's about all I gotta say on this one. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video despite the technical mishaps and you want to request something else for me to get to, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you want to guarantee something, much like Lucha did for this one, you can always go to my Patreon and guarantee it that way. If that tier is open, it can be by anyone, from anything, good or bad, doesn't really matter. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!